Welcome to Insights into Success, where with your host Paul Dodds, we hope to educate, inspire and motivate you to achieve your own personal success. We talk to guests from all around the world from a variety of walks of life to hear the realities of their own journey to success. What challenges have they faced? How have they coped with failure? And what have been the keys or will be the keys to their own success? In our Read to Succeed interviews, we talk books that have inspired our guests, and for some, they share their secrets to marketing success. Join us as we give you insights into success. Welcome back to Insights into Success, where we're doing a special segment called Read to Succeed, and our guest today is J Nestor. Now, if you haven't already, I'll recommend you listen to our recent recording where she provides insights into her life and her very diverse and very interesting career. But Mary J, thank you so much for coming back, and I want to pass it over to you and for you to inspire us with all the different books that you have read that have had an impact on your life.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate that. I pulled out three that have been important to me. One was a while ago, and the other two are pretty much pretty recent. But one of the things that, in our conversation is about, people coming into my life and giving me insight from their truth about myself and things that could help me. They've helped me in my life, in my work and relationships and all that. And so the first one that I wanted to share with you is called Strengths Finders. I don't know if you ever heard of this book. Have you heard of this one?
I haven't heard of that book.
It was actually introduced to me by a CEO of the Telford Museums where I worked. She had gone to a conference, and Strengths Finders is a way. It's an assessment that you take, and what it does is it figures out how you present yourself or how you show up naturally. How do you come across, or what are your strengths? What are the things that you do are your best at? So, and I had been in HR for many years, and we always looked at, we're always trying to make improvements in people. So of course we'd look at the things they didn't do well, and then we would try to build them up. Well, Strength Finders takes it the other direction. It starts out with what you do well to maximize on that, to build on that. And then other things that maybe you don't do as well, those are the kind of things that you can work on to kind of enhance. But you come as a whole person, somebody who's got strengths and talents and all that, which is a huge difference in managing people. It's a very positive way. And I came up with, and I've always thought I was kind of like, all over the place. But I came up with my 5, and I'll share them with you. These are my 5 strengths, according to Strength Finders. Communication was one of them. Ideation, which I can have 1,000 ideas in my head. Futuristic, looking to the future, what's going on.
Good.
Maximizer, I'm a maximizer. So, probably multitasker, getting the most out of everything. And the last one was strategic. Those are my 5 top ones.
That's a good group.
I know, I was so happy to figure out that those are my strengths, because that's kind of the way I operate. And we did this a lot with management teams and organizations, and it makes a huge difference. And people are transformed when they hear their 5 top strengths, because they go, you know what, that's me. That's what I'm really good at. And so anyway, that was one. And I think it was with Gallup or some other organization. But anyway, you can go online and your organization can take this assessment, and they've got all kinds of things. But it really made a difference in my life. I was okay the way I was, because those are really strengths,
Yeah, so absolutely.
So the second one that I wanted to share is The Mountain is You. The Mountain is You. And this is a book, it's actually a book about self-sabotage. So if you ever felt like you were doing things that, or if you ever feel like you're in a pattern, in relationships or in jobs, or things happen to you, but they're always happening over and over again. It's probably not the job. It's probably not that. It's probably something about you that you bring. It's like some people who are unhappy, they'll move to a different location. but then they're not happy there either.
Mm.
And so the biggest thing that you take with you when you move is yourself. And so this kind of helps you go through that process to say, okay, what are you contributing to? If you want to maximize, your potential, you have to look at some of the things. And in my experience with my some of the people that shared things about me that I didn't know, they helped me figure out what are some of the things that I'm doing that I don't even realize it. So the Mountain is You goes through to help you to understand ways that maybe some of the habits that you have, or maybe some of the ways you operate or relate to people could be hurting. It's not somebody out there, to look inward to see how you can make changes. And you're really the only one that can make a change. And so that was really a big thing for me. And then the third one that I pulled out is don't believe everything you think. And again, this one is why your thinking is the beginning and end of suffering. And we were talking before about emails and about how, you read an email and you wrote a nice one and they think you're mad at them or you're criticizing them. And what's happening is that they're taking what you're saying and they're building a scenario or some kind of a story behind it, they say, well, he used that word. Well, that means this and this. So too much thinking about things can make you miserable, because you make up some stories in your head, or you go back or you project on somebody else what you may be thinking yourself. And so that's helped me a lot to clarify my thinking. And sometimes you get into a situation where you felt like you've been wronged and it's all you can think about. You wake up thinking about it, you go to sleep thinking about it, and it's just really, it robs you of time and gives you a lot of stress. So I found the book it's a very short book. It's very, and it's like one of the best-selling books of time.
Wow. Okay.
So and they really, I feel like, we are responsible for ourselves and our, and what we do with our lives. We make a lot of choices. And so those kinds of things can help you see where maybe, you are doing things that may not be in your best interest.
Mm.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so tell me, like, with your choice of books that you read, do you have a preference? Like, do you prefer educational books, or you like to mix it up, or do you read much in the way of fiction books?
I do like to mix it up. I used to read a lot of nonfiction books, but recently, and since I've been writing mystery, thrillers, my last book, Bus Number 7, I have been reading a lot of mystery thrillers and other books, and some just kind of fun books. I read a lot of Mary Kay Andrews. She's, kind of, I don't know what you call her genre, but it's kind of like soft, cozy fiction, mystery fiction.
Right.
And, but I just read The View from Lake Como, which is on the New York Times bestselling list. I actually met the author at a conference. I read a lot of James Patterson and Balducci because the way I wrote Bus Number 7 was sort of in the style of James Patterson, short chapters, cliffhanger at the very last sentence, this kind of thing. So Can
I just interrupt there for a second?
Yes.
I really want to make a comment here. That's a smart move with the short with the short chapters like that, and also having that sort of hook. Because what I was going to say is seeing it more and more, like with social media and everything, people's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. So I think authors need to take that into account. And by doing what you're doing, I think you're far more likely to sort of grab the reader and then carry them on. Whereas, unfortunately, sad as it potentially is, people just do not have the attention span. If they've got to look at a chapter and it's like 50 pages long, I think a lot of people will put off. But if they look at it and, the chapter's only like 3 pages or something, then I think that's more attractive. So smart marketing, I guess, is my message for you on that.
Yeah, it is. And the comments I get from Bus Number 7 is that, I couldn't put it down. One lady said she woke up, I guess her husband woke up at like 2 a.m. and she was sitting in bed reading my book. And he says, "What are you doing reading at 2 o'clock?" She's like, "I can't put it down." She's just
Yeah.
one more chapter and one more chapter and one more chapter.
Yeah.
But like, you're right, they're short, and there's always something that wants to make you turn the page. And
Yeah.
it fits well. You're absolutely right with the attention spans, and anything anymore. Emails, don't write a long email. These people aren't going to read it.
No.
Yeah.
No. And tell me, in terms of your frequency of reading, how often would you read?
Oh, I read every day. I always read before I go to bed at night. Yeah,
Right.
I'm always reading. Yeah, I try to. My one of my granddaughters, she's 21 now. She decided she's a real reader, and she wanted to do a book club with me, and so we got all these books, and her books are very different from mine. But so we got into reading and reading all kinds of different stories and things like that. So she's really gotten me into it. But I think a couple of my grandchildren are like that. They really do like to read. Yeah.
And what method of reading do you like? Do you prefer a physical book? Do you Kobo, Kindle, audio books? What's your preference?
I like a real book. I like turning pages and turning down pages and sticking something in the middle to where I am. I do have a lot of books on Kindle, and I do read Kindle books. They're not as exciting. I think I like just the physical, tactile thing of a book. I like the smell of a book. Did you ever open a book, have an old book and it kind of takes you back somewhere? Yeah.
Yes,
And
yeah.
I really do like that. But I like I haven't done many audiobooks. I think I'm more a visual person. I like to see things. That's just the way I am, and feel them. And so I like the real books. But paperbacks, hardbacks are nice. Hardbacks are nice.
And tell me, in terms of retention of information, do you ever write notes in your books, put little stickies in it? What's your technique to try and retain what you read?
Well, I fold the pages back a lot. As you can see, I've got pages folded back all over here. But I'll do that. But I will underline and write notes in the margins. And what's really interesting is I've had some books forever that I read 20 years ago, and to take them out again and read them and read the notes that I put in the margins.
Yes.
Because it says, wow, I'm still there. I'm still stuck there. Or, wow, I've really come a long way from that. Or I'll open a book and something is underlined and it's exactly what I needed for that moment. So I underline, and I do like that with Kindle, that you can highlight. And I do highlight a lot on Kindle books. But I sometimes I end up highlighting everything, which isn't kind of defeating the purpose. I say, oh, that's really good. So I want to underline that too. But yeah, and I do write. Sometimes I write notes. I journal also. So I have a journal. I usually write something out every day. I do a thing in the morning and do a middle meditation and do some reading and stuff. And so I'll write down things that kind of hit me, or I will find sometimes that the same theme will come from different places. It's something that's going on in my life.
Right.
Which is really, somebody's talking to me. So it's worth writing down.
Yeah, interesting idea.
Yeah.
All right, Mary J. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you.
So welcome.
It's been a real pleasure. And as I said in my other interview, you've got a diverse background, which makes you that much more interesting to talk to. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure and an honor to be here. So thank you again.